A group of House Republicans will be joining former President Trump at the border. We're also going to be talking about the greatest album of all time, Michelle Branch's The Spirit Room. I'm Joe.
I'm Josh.
You've got questions?
You're feeling grounded. Nice. Perfect.
You're perfect.
Welcome to Feeling Grounded with your hosts, Josh and Joe.
So what we want you all to do right now is subscribe to Feeling Grounded Podcast, like the video, and become a patron. Also, for $3 a month, you guys can see exclusive content from us, and follow us also on Feeling Grounded Podcast on Instagram to see some other exclusive content for free. That way you can also check out our other mediums. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and many other avenues if you feel that. You get both audio and video, of course, on YouTube, which is, of course, our favorite. But also on any one of our mediums, such as Instagram and YouTube, write a comment with a question for Josh and I, or whenever we have a guest too, such as,
why do you always wear a hat, Josh?
and Joe, why didn't you wear a hat this time? You promised last time. I know I did, but I was constantly forgetful, so I apologize. But with that in mind, we appreciate you all, and we can't wait to continue dishing out more content for you guys in the not too distant future. Episodes every Wednesday.
All right, Joe. So what's crack-a-lackin'? So we're recording, what day is today? Thursday?
Yeah, a little bit earlier than our normal
A
routine.
little bit early because next week I'm going on vacation, baby. Should be good.
Now, where is this vacation?
Cape May,
Oh,
which is on the...
that's a long ways away.
Yeah, the very bottom of New Jersey.
Oh.
Exit 0. Yeah, so my in-laws, they've been going every year for the past like 20 something years, which is bonkers. So that's a long time.
Going there that many times, you would think that you would want to have like a little bit more variety in your vacations.
I know you'd think so, but that's kind of how the whole family is. They don't like change. Change
Okay.
is not a thing that they like. I, on the other hand, I'm all on board with doing different things.
Mhm.
Variety is the spice of life, Joseph.
Yes.
So I'd much rather do other things, new adventures, than the same thing. But to each his own.
So what's on the bucket list for Josh?
Oh, places I want to go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's always been my dream to do like a really long road trip. So like just like cross country, and hitting like every spot.
Get a
I can
trailer.
think of. Mhm.
Go to sleep in, like the Walmart parking lots. Don't get the hotel. Just get the.
Yeah, something like that. And taking the family, and then we just stop at parks and we see everything. Just take like a month and just do it. Just drive and see everything. It's my dream. Because I'm not really big on flying. Flying is like probably my biggest fear. So I would rather drive everywhere. I don't really care to just go to Europe or to, go.
You wouldn't go to Europe? You would pass up on that opportunity?
Yeah, I would. Yeah.
What if you had like people that were always there to comfort you? It's actually the safest method of travel.
I know. But there's this is massive fear. It's like my biggest anxiety. Like I've done it. Obviously, I've flown before. But it's like so horrifying to me. It's like, well, I'm just white knuckling and like breathing heavy and like the whole time. And so, yeah, I would be okay to never fly again. But if I have to, I have to, and I will.
What if you go on a boat, hijack like a cruise liner?
I would do that, heartbeat. I wouldn't hijack, but I would do a cruise. Yeah, if they did cruises from here to Europe, I would do that.
But the thing is, Josh, you have other methods of travel, such as like a cruise liner. Have you ever seen Titanic?
No, I haven't. What's that about? Nice. Yeah, I had that thought. I was like, man, if I did a cruise liner, I would probably end up at the bottom of the ocean. Because the captain would hit an iceberg at midnight.
I'd throw you off the cruise liner, just like how Rose from the movie Titanic just throws off the heart of the ocean. Ah! That sound.
Nice. Yeah. That's silly. Yeah. But yeah, vacation. So I'm looking forward to it. Now, the thing is, like how they are again is it's very. My personality is very different from my in-laws. Okay, I guess that's normally how it is, right? But they like every day to have like an itinerary, like they know what they're doing every day, and every day's kind of the same. So what they do is they wake up, they have breakfast early, and then the whole family gathers to like the center of this like, I don't know, meeting area, fields, whatever. There's like a little chapel, and then we do some kind of like morning prayer, and then immediately after that we do soccer. They play soccer in the field until like lunchtime, and then all the families go into their own places. They have lunch, they take a nap, they chill, they go to the beach. We'll go to the beach for like 3 or 4 hours. We come home, have dinner, and then everyone goes to somebody else's house for dessert. And this is every single day. Which is cool. I mean, it's fun. You know, it's fun stuff. Like it's chill. It's good.
I'm getting the idea that it's kind of predictable.
Yeah. And I'm not really big on that. I'm into like, I'm just gonna go to a place. I'm gonna see some stuff. I'm gonna relax. Because for me, vacation is like not having a schedule. Because that's like regular life. Like so I just want to like have a general sense of what we're gonna do. Maybe this day we can do that. We can see these places, eat at this location. Like that'd be great. You know, I'm kind of more like a spontaneous vacation person. Like, I'm going to be here for a week, and then these are some things that we can do, but not every day is, laid out for me.
It's interesting that you mentioned that because the term vacation has a weird definition depending on the person that you talk to.
Right.
Like vacation could be an organized thing such as you're with your in-laws. Another vacation could be spontaneous, which a lot of other people such as you would define it as. Some other people define vacation as, how do I best describe this? Taking a break, of course, from work, but to pursue some other type of passion for an extended period of time, possibly even never going back to your old pursuit.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. Just kind of a pause in your regular life, which I get that. And it's a nice time, and I don't want to bash it and say like it's not a nice time. Just for me, I like to.
But I agree. You going to a vacation means taking a break from organized life.
Yeah, from everything.
And when you stratify it so much, it kind of defeats the purpose.
Right. In my mind, at least. Yeah, because I get stressed over a lot like that. Like, oh, we're gonna have to be here now, so I need to get ready. I need to make sure I'm prepped. I have to make sure I'm showered and smell good, and the kids have to be in a certain way. So then I have to make sure the cars are packed, or that we have walkers, and like I have to make sure that they take their naps, they're good to go. So like there's like so much more involved instead of just like, oh, show up here at 3. Well, it's like, well, 3 o'clock is typically the tail end of my kids' naps, so like I have to like schedule that and kind of think about that, how that's gonna work, and I don't know. There's just a lot more to it than it used to be. But it's good. It'll be a good week. And I'm off from school too, which is nice. So like my classes, like college.
For how long?
Just for a week.
Oh, great. Great.
It's our summer break. So my next class doesn't start until July 6th or something.
So now that you have learned how to turn on a computer, what's next on the agenda?
Next is musical technology. So I'm learning about all the stuff that I received in my tech kit, which I already know a lot of this stuff already, but I'm hoping I can learn something. And then from here on out, it's like classes that I really benefit from learning. It's like different composition techniques and synthesis and mixing and mastering. We're starting to head in that direction after this next month. So it'll be good. Good. I'm really excited. Get my creativity going.
You've always been creative, Josh.
Yeah, that's something I love. It's like a part of me, like some people just have that. And I would say the same with you. Like you just want to like do stuff. You want to make something. You want to like get something out there. That's kind of where my heart is. Like I'm happiest when I'm making things and getting that itch out, get the itch scratched, as it were, instead of the itch out.
Everybody likes massages. Everybody likes getting, their back scratched,
It's time for Happy Crappy.
So my happy for this week so far, I know it's been a little bit of a shorter week, but I did a little bit of travel with in order to get to family's place. Just got back right now, and that was good. Surrounded myself with work to editing the podcast stuff yesterday before the episode came out, Josh, and did some stuff for church as well, other writing passion project stuff. So I threw on the ambient music and just went at it for like 5 hours, and
Nice.
that's exactly what you were mentioning before, previous segment, that just getting stuff out there on paper or another medium is incredible.
Yeah, it feels good. It really does. So that's great. That's great.
And leading that into my crappy, I suppose, throughout the travel that I had, I found it difficult to get to work out consistently
Mhm.
for that first part of the week, but I'm working out right after I'm chatting with you. So all will be well.
Nice. Me too. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the gym after this. So we'll do it together.
Live stream.
Cool. So my happy's crappies. Happy is the tech kit. And we're getting really close to so the tech kit. So my school gave me a bunch of electronics and different things for music equipment, which it's pretty good stuff. It's not like the best quality. Some of the things I already have or I have in better forms, but just cool to get. I love getting stuff, electronics and tech. I'm just a techie. It's always fun to like mess and toy with things. Yeah, so this is new. So this is a MacBook Pro, which I've never used Mac before. And so it's very much of a learning curve. I'm still trying to like figure out how to actually use it. And
Feeling Grounded has updated their technology. We are both Mac users now.
there we go. How about that? Instead of a stock PC laptop. But then when I get to my studio, I'm going back to my PC rig. But and then this is more on the go. So I'm going to use this for like recording and producing music only. So like this is the creative station. And then that'll carry with me and whatnot. But anyways, so that's my happy. And then I'm on summer break now, which is cool as of today. So I don't have pretty much any responsibilities, which is good. Other than, family and personal stuff. Yeah. So I'm stoked. It's going to be a good summer. Lots of good things happening. And then crappy, some of the stuff in my tech kit didn't work, like my interface. So I'm trying to figure out how to A, get it to work, and B, if I can't get it to work, how to send it back and return it and get a new one. So
This was your first time troubleshooting it, so
yeah, I'm gonna mess with it some more. Now, I already have a better version of the one that they sent me. But it's in use right now. The church is using it, and then my nicest one is in storage. So is what it is. So if it doesn't work, it's not the end of the world. But
yeah, finally breaking out the storage stuff.
hopefully July 6th.
Whoa!
July 6th is when it's coming. Yep.
No kidding.
Getting all that stuff in storage, taking it out. Gonna set up the home, move in, be good stuff.
Nice.
So probably by the next, let's see. What do you think? The next time we record. No. We'll just be in the process. And then, so not next podcast, but the following, I'll be in the house.
I'm so excited for you.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for you to come over and see it. And once it's all set up, we can do live stuff.
Yeah, we'll figure out a time.
Excited about the summer and some broken things. That's not good.
Excited about broken things. In a way, aren't we all broken, Josh?
We're all depraved. All have fallen short.
The future is inevitable, but let's travel back in time.
So today, by the time people are listening to this, it'll be June 30th, 2021. But we're going to go back to June 30th, 1955. The Johnny Carson Show debuts on CBS.
I love Johnny Carson. There's something about him.
And why do you love him?
He was just the best late night, in my opinion, I think. At least from people that I've seen. I don't really know too much about people from that era, but I know that Johnny Carson was a complete legend. He's just one of the best interviewers. Like, he just let the people do their thing. And then he would ask them questions that were pertinent and whatever, but they were like good because he really cared about them,
It seems as if now you can't get a word out from these guests, because all these late night hosts are constantly interrupting. Like my beef, because I used to like Fallon, Jimmy Fallon, he constantly fake laughs, and you can all tell. Like if you've ever been to a psychology class, you know that guy is being completely fake with his laughter and interrupting his guests.
Yeah, he's not really good. The whole thing though is he's just popular because of his SNL stuff, but he's really not that good of a late night host. And the same with like Jimmy Kimmel, he's the same way. I mean, the stuff that he did to Joaquin Phoenix was horrible.
Now, what did he do to Joaquin Phoenix? Tell me.
He like revealed footage from when he was doing, not Joker, might have been Joker. Yeah, I think it was the Joker. Of him like yelling at a crew member, and he like Joaquin Phoenix didn't know he was gonna do that. Like it was a complete surprise.
Oh, but another joke, Murray.
Yeah.
No, I think
we could have taken it in a weird way.
No, I think we've had enough of your jokes.
But yes, and then so Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, Conan was good.
Oh, he's ending his show. Do you know that?
Yeah. He just finished, right? His last one was, I think, recently. Yeah, he, in my opinion, was the best interviewer. I'm not big on his comedy. Like I can see it's kind of.
I love his deadpan comedy. That's just me.
Yeah. I mean, some people really like. I never really got into it, but I think he's the best interviewer because he's that way. Like with Johnny Carson, like he would let the people, like Bill Burr, when Bill Burr was on. Like,
yes.
Legendary stuff happens. Like he just lets him go. He lets him go, and that's how it should be. But yeah, I remember. Gosh, a couple of months ago, well, maybe a little more than a couple months ago, I just binged a lot of Johnny Carson videos and just laughing because of the comedy, the comedians that were on, the actors, and it was just such a cool vibe. It was like so different. Just like people chilling on stage, just talking about stuff. Like
And then I remember one scene with Johnny Carson and Rodney Dangerfield. He just let Rodney go, and Johnny, he knew exactly what was going to happen. He let the laughs pour out of his heart.
Yeah, exactly. Good stuff. Yeah. So what? 1955, right?
Yeah, 1955.
And then he ended in, I want to say, was it 79 or 80?
92.
92?
Yeah, The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson.
Right. Wow. I thought it was much earlier than that.
And then
that's crazy.
And then
well, I guess that makes sense because I've seen a lot with Robin Williams.
And then who took over for Johnny Carson? Was it Letterman?
I think it was Letterman.
After Carson's retirement, Leno took over as host amid some controversy for David Letterman. Okay. For David Letterman. Okay.
Yeah. I can't remember. But yeah, there you go. 92. Wow. So he did it for a long time, almost 40 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Did not realize that. I don't know why he's such a legend. Cool. All right. So mine, June 30th, 1938, the first comic for Superman. The first Superman comic was released in 1938 through DC.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy.
Truth, Justice, and the American Way.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Very patriotic, powerful, good things.
And World War II was not even a thing for us Americans at this point in time.
That's right, because we weren't in yet. Well, they could see it beginning, right? Kind of starting the tensions. But yeah, it's so crazy to like see the comic books from that era because they all are like so patriotic and like such propaganda.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. All the Captain America stuff, like it was just fighting for American values and virtue, which we would probably desperately need now.
Yeah. What is what I suppose it's probably even more deep storytelling wise and character development wise.
Yeah, instead of making Americans feel better. Which I get 100%. I understand that completely.
Entertainment. Where's the entertainment, guys?
So we're here to talk about Michelle Branch's The Spirit Room from 2001. The anniversary is going to come up in a couple months. It came out in August of 2001. And I want to get the overall impression. Me personally, I love this album. Best album I think I've ever heard.
Literally. I there's nothing that compares to this album by the Michelle Branch.
After I finished the album, I listened to it, and I hadn't listened to it in so long. I had so many goosebumps all around my body. that the people around me thought that I had keratosis pilaris.
You know, I had the same thing, and it made me bigger and stronger somehow. I listened to the whole album, and I had a six-pack. Now, it left me after, but while I was listening, and then a little bit after, my body was like, you've just peaked. There's nothing greater than this album.
So the real message is that we should be constantly listening to this album in order to be at peak performance.
Exactly.
Speaking of big, especially with six packs, right? This album is large. It's big in what it's trying to say, but at the same time, it's small in its approach. It's loud in its message, but at the same time, it's quiet. It's busy in the amount of songs that it has, but at the same time, it's relaxed.
It's also a lot of the songs are just incredibly somehow deep, but then also shallow. It kind of strikes you in both places.
The whole mood of this album, it made me feel like the whole mood of this album, it made me feel like I was getting yelled at.
What's that? Getting yelled at? You can do it. You can do it. I believe.
The whole mood of this album.
You got it.
The whole mood of this album, it made me feel like I was getting yelled at for not calling a girl back.
I feel that.
You know, when she was talking about a relationship, about a man being her shooting star.
You're my shooting star.
I had so many goosebumps all over my body.
I had that same experience. Everything within me was like, any impurity wanted to get out after listening to this album.
I literally felt like I was cured of all of my ailments.
Yeah, my body literally purged.
My sins were all forgiven. Giving we've given our initial impressions, but I need to also say that me personally, I loved this album. You know, it's very much a soundtrack to, you know, those 2000s shows such as, you know, Laguna Beach or One Tree Hill or Dawson's Creek, you know, typical shows that you would think that are, you know, it's better than Breaking Bad, better than Game of Thrones. You know, I used to like those shows. Now they suck.
Yeah. It's changed my life.
Now let's get
found
down
love from this. This is like finding love.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to find love out there, just listen to this album and you'll feel it.
You'll feel it immediately. You don't even need a partner.
It's like complete bliss and union with the universe itself.
Now, your overall feelings about this album, how did you feel after leaving this album? Did you feel like a sense of bliss, melancholy? What was it?
Yeah, it kind of was like the feeling like after you have an amazing bowel movement.
Oh, okay.
And then you like...
And usually bowel movements, they're supposed to be fun, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Freeing, empty.
And you know, albums, they're supposed to be fun. And this album, it's very fun. Well, no, it's not.
Right.
Let's get down to brass tacks. So
All right.
me personally, I love this album. Best album I've ever heard, possibly rivaling the Beatles' Sgt. Pepper.
Wow. No, not even close. It's way better.
Yeah, it's way better. So this album won't be forgotten for the next 50 to 300 million years.
Yeah, I mean, when I listened to it, like I immediately remembered everything. I knew all the lyrics. I knew all the guitar chords, the progressions, the singing, the melodies, everything. It was just in my head.
You know, this album, we got to think about the meaning of this album. It's about a relationship. The first song, Everywhere? Yeah, Everywhere. It's about a relationship, about a crush, and then eventually you get into the hit song All You Wanted, which apparently he's not all that she wanted. She just wanted a guy who cared about her. And apparently, whether it be he liked her and she liked him, but they didn't fulfill each other's wants or needs, then she says goodbye to him in the song, Goodbye to You. You know, it's about a relationship, her shooting star.
You're my shooting star.
She finds a new man, and then the last song, Drop in the Ocean, she finds another crush, and then the cycle begins again. This song, actually, no, really, this album, it's really a rock opera.
Love it. So true. It's powerful, powerful, powerful stuff.
Because what happens to us when we're 16-year-old teeny boppers? You know, in this age of terrorism and, political polarization on both sides, they're craving for an album about a girl complaining about a guy.
I completely agree. This is what the world needs, Joseph. We need a imagination. We need a recapitulation. And for us to go back to the olden days of 2001. Michelle Branch.
You know, if her and Vanessa Carlton and Avril Lavigne had a 3-person tour, I would go.
The world couldn't handle it.
No, they could not handle it. It would literally explode. And they would make an album, a triple album even, if they were together, that would destroy all metrics of the music industry.
Yeah, I would agree. So that's why you, viewers, listeners, right now, go listen to The Spirit Room by Michelle Branch. And then you can tell us how you felt after listening to the entirety of the album.
And I think your opinions will probably be the same as ours. And if they're not, we're probably going to dismiss them and maybe even bully you.
Yeah, because that's how we do it here at Feeling Grounded.
Yeah. Our whole slogan is you shouldn't have questions. You should just accept what we say.
Because it's truth. Do it.
You're my shooting star.
Oh, here we go. The classic relationship trope where you're going to chase for the girl while it's raining.
In the rain. You're all wet. So if you want to watch that, listeners, go to patreon.com/Feeling Grounded Podcast.
Yep. For only $3 a month, you guys will be able to access exclusive content and our reactions to certain things. And some of the Patreon stuff that we do is honestly our favorite part. So get on that platform and we will hopefully see you there.
Check it out.
It's time for the news.
So apparently, about a dozen House Republicans will be joining former President Donald Trump to the southern border. Now, what have you heard about the border? We talked a little bit about that. I believe, was it with Zach a few weeks back?
Yep. Episode 7, right?
Yep.
Yeah. The so what I've heard is that things are not good.
Mm-hmm.
That there's a lot of chaos, and a lot of people are coming in, and some people, like children, are getting dropped off,
Mm.
and it's been like the worst that it's been ever. Like that's what you read in all the articles, is everyone's
Yeah.
saying, "Oh, it's just the worst that it's ever been,"
Mm-hmm.
which it could very well be, But I don't know. I'm not at the border, so I don't know what it's like
Yeah.
personally. But from what I've heard and hearsay from reading articles and things, it sounds like it's a rough time.
Yeah, it's a rough gig, and it seems that quite a few on both sides are kind of panning this administration.
Right. Yeah, everyone's blaming Biden for it. So
Yeah. One of the representatives, I think from Indiana, Jim Banks is his name, he accused Biden of, worsening the U.S.-Mexico border. To my understanding, Trump also said that it's destroying our country. We know his position on it. It's been, in the mainstream for the last 5 or so years, give or take.
yeah.
And then another representative from Texas, Greg Abbott, he said, the wall will continue to be erected, and he'll also be in attendance with Trump too. So by the time that this episode airs, I think Kamala Harris would have already been there, and Trump is probably already there by this point, because we're filming a few days beforehand.
Right.
Yeah, so Kamala Harris, I think from what I've seen in interviews, she's been constantly bombarded with questions about when are you going to visit the border, because she's the representative who should be, to my understanding. No.
Yeah. So a lot of our roles are that. I think, right?
Yeah. And just days before, like, she's going to the border herself on the Friday, because tomorrow, because we're filming this on the Thursday beforehand. So by that time people have already gotten a better idea of who's been more successful in the trip, Trump or Kamala.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see. Time will tell. I have a feeling though Kamala won't do very well. She's kind of flip-floppy with a lot of the stuff.
How do you mean?
Just the way she feels about immigration, because I believe at one point she disagreed with it and thought everyone should. Oh no, she thought everyone should be welcome and all that stuff, and then she did the whole thing a couple of weeks ago where she told everyone to leave and not come. Okay. Not come. Yeah. So
it's only a wonder why that was. Maybe the pressure of it is getting to her. I would think that, because back in February or March, that's when we first started hearing about this, within the first month or two that Biden took office. More and more people came in. Yeah. Illegally.
Yeah, because they knew, like we said before, that they probably would be okay, and they are, so that's why they're rushing like the way that they are. So it's interesting. It's crazy to see.
Yeah. But in May, like, I'm giving you a little bit of data, federal law enforcement, they stopped more than 180,000 people from attempting to cross, which is more, probably the most it had been since 2001, I believe.
Wow, that is crazy.
Yeah, highest in 2 decades.
Jeez,
but I get Republican anger, and they've said that their position numerous times, but what motivates the Democrats in order to, I suppose, delay going, or at least Kamala, delaying going to the border to this point in time? Because how long have they been in office for? Late January, February, March, April, May, and now we're at 5 months at this point.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they're afraid of what they're going to see, or it's a good question. I mean, I wouldn't want to go. Yeah. Especially if I was, really involved with what's happening. If it's because of my administration and the one that I'm a part of, like, I don't know. I don't know what the mindset is,
Yeah.
But it's not so crazy. It's hard to say because, you have both sides, right? Where, well, these people should come legally, and they should, because they need to escape a horrible climate and situation. But then the other idea is, well, maybe these people are, gonna dismantle what we believe is, in our country, and kind of like the whole theory behind Rome that you mentioned a couple weeks
Oh
ago,
yeah,
a
yeah,
while
that
ago.
they might come in.
That mentality of like changing culture to the point where it topples. And so, you get both sides of that, where you say, well, you get the left that says, no, they should come because they need, a better way of life. And then you get the right that says, no, they shouldn't come because they will affect our society and our culture and the way things are supposed to be, our economy, society, and all these aspects. But I don't know. It's kind of one of those weird
Yeah,
things.
I think
But
that's actually
you
a
don't.
really good point that you brought up, bringing up some type of moral reason in order to bring people in because of the country that they came in beforehand isn't exactly the best, but at the expense of our country,
Mhm.
Are we prepared to take a lot of people? Because as the United States as a whole, we're not doing so well.
Yeah.
We're the most divided that we have ever been. Um,
So do we want to keep throwing more things into the pot and making it worse? Or
yeah, but at the same time, like I get a lot of people trying to say maybe bringing a lot more people
then need
in.
help?
Yeah. Do we have the resources? I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's hard to say. I guess time will tell with all that. My initial instinct is to want to help them, but in the same breath, it's like, well, how can we truly help 100 and what was it, 108,000 people at the border? Like, do we have the buildings? Do we have the space? Do we like what do we do? Like, how do we respond to that when we get? What if it's 1 million people? Like, what if millions of people are running into our country? Like, what are we supposed to do? Like, how can we help them and serve them?
Right. And I think that's a really
That's the problem.
it's a really Christian thing in order to want to help as many people as can be.
Because obviously they're coming here for a purpose. It's not like they're trying to escape a oppressive country or a drug issue or familial problems or poverty. Maybe they think their lives will be better if they come here, which is an important thing because we're called to serve and we're called to help. But we just want to make sure that we're in a system in a world that can provide for them. Because if we get
Be
overpowered,
pragmatic about the situation in order to understand that do we have enough resources in order to help out each individual person.
Because I heard somebody who was talking about the situation who was from Texas, who said many years ago when this was a problem, they said that literally they didn't have the food, they didn't have the places, so they literally just had rooms that were just filled with like children, and like no one knew how to take care of them and knew what to do or like how to like because the process for things like if they were decided to be deported, like it takes a long period of time. So how do you house someone for 2 to 4 weeks in a location where there's just no food, there's no space, there's no clothing, there's no beds? Like what do you do? What do you do? You can't just like let them go because you have to take care of them. But there's this but if you do that with like thousands and thousands of people,
the problem doesn't end.
Yeah, exactly, because you can't take care of them.
Yeah, you're left in like a reactionary stance because you're reacting to other people that are coming in.
Yeah, and you can't just like let them go. Like they can't just like walk away, like because they don't have anything. They don't. I mean, most of them don't even have cars. Like they don't have clothes. They don't have food. They run out of food and water from the trip. Like, like you're just gonna let them go into the desert, like, like go fend for yourself. Well, no, you can't do that because then they're the homeless and they will die. Like, so you have to take care of them. But then when you get this massive surge of people, you can't do it. So I guess what we have to say is that we need limitations. Either A, we need a better infrastructure plan where we get resources and locations and buildings built to house and take care of these people, which costs a lot of money, a lot of taxpayer money, and a lot of resources. Or we just say, you guys got to stop coming over. We can't help you. We can't help you. Which either way, I mean, it's going to affect a lot of things. So yeah, that's my take on everything.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to each situation, whatever avenue that you do approach.
Yeah, it's like me. If my wife and I decide we're going to have 15 kids, which hopefully we won't, but if we decide
that was your goal. I thought that was your goal.
Exactly. Well, it was Catholics maybe, but we, if I don't have a house for them, if I don't have room for them, if I don't have enough money in my account to like pay for their food and their schooling and their education and their clothing and all this stuff, like I'm going to try not to have kids. I'm going to be smart about or try to, not have 15 children if I can't,
Mhm.
if I like cannot take care of them.
Yeah.
And so there's something to that
Mhm.
because we want their well-being. So then obviously it's different with children because you can make that decision, but
Yeah, you can't exactly control the rest of the world.
yeah, exactly.
So I get the reactionary stance to it. Maybe, and maybe this
I
is
don't know,
me
what is your thought? I mean, I'm rambling here. Like, what are
no,
your
no.
what are your feelings?
I think what it comes to right now, because you brought up pros and cons on both sides. Maybe Kamala was onto something, saying that people shouldn't come, at
Mhm.
least for the time right now. Um, and this is her not even being at the border yet. So only time will tell what happens on the Friday, what is actually taking place, how she approaches it, and same with the
Mhm.
Republicans on that stance. We haven't had a lot of unity on this issue for quite a long time.
Right.
Maybe the one thing that I can really hone in on is just asking for other foreign powers for help in order to bring these immigrants to those other locations. Now, it's not ideally what the immigrants want to. They probably just want refuge from where they've been.
Right.
So maybe
Yeah, and
any other location will do. Again, that's a lot
right.
of taxpayer money.
Yeah, and if they're told like, hey, if you go here, you can get food for 2 weeks or whatever it is. But yeah, I don't know. But then you have those questions too, like who's going to help us? Like who's going to allow us to send all these people somewhere? And it's just tricky. It's a hard game to play.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're empathetic and you really feel for these people, you want to help them. But if there's no way to help them, like how can you?
Yeah.
So it's just both sides of that coin.
Mm-hmm.
It's just important to try to figure out what the best answer is and hope that somebody can.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people, again, there's a problem with politics, right? Where everyone thinks there's a different motive behind stuff like that. So the thing with Kamala, everyone was like, oh, well, they just don't want people from, I think it was Guatemala where they were talking
Mm-hmm.
about, right?
Mm-hmm.
They said, oh, they don't want people from Guatemala because they tend to be more Christian and they tend to be more Catholic and good people. So that's why she would tell them not to come,
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I don't know, there might be truth to that, but the fact that that's where minds go is like wrong.
Automatically, yeah.
Yeah. The fact that, oh, well, it's because they're all Christian, which would then be against her agenda or whatever. But she may just be saying that because, well, listen, you guys got to stop coming because we can't take care of you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quick to do that, but it's always important for us to think about. So I'm always trying to be like an optimist. I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't know how much I can do that for someone like Kamala, but I always try to give everyone.
I can't do that for any politician, Josh.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's very hard to. And here's the thing for any person that is listening: you don't have to listen to us specifically. Like, we're not kowtowing to people's views. That's not what Feeling Grounded is about. But I strongly urge a lot of the people that at 8 o'clock at night who make a habit of turning on, the Fox Newses of the world, the CNNs of the world, strongly reconsider. Don't make that a habit.
Yeah, just shut it off.
Maybe once in a while turn it on just to get like a little bit of, but there are other avenues. Because a lot of it is designed to make you fearful. Every single politician, especially with this issue of the border, they're all motivated by fear, at least in my opinion, which is the reason why they are so accusatory of other people. Same with those on the mainstream news outlets. Be savvy in what you want to find for your news outlets. Be very selective. Treat it as a form of self-care, because at the end of the day, you don't want to be feeling negativity about yourself and your country.
Yeah, and to just know that the intention of news outlets is to be entertaining. Like it's meant to be entertainment, and then also just the agendas that they're trying to push, which is coming out. But like initially, like as soon as the 24-hour news cycle happened in like the 70s, the intention was to be entertaining and to try to sway popular opinion. So just know that if you're watching it, like they're showing you things for a reason, and it's not always the truth, and it's not always geared towards your betterment. It's meant to like cling you and attach you to things. And I think something that I've noticed as time has progressed, like the stuff that they'll show is getting more and more controversial, more and more aggressive. Because that's like
Yeah.
the one thing that like people that will make them watch is if it's like, oh, if it's jarring. I remember when I was a kid, they would never show clips of people shooting guns at people. Like
Yeah.
you would never see like it happening. And I was at the gym, and I think CNN or Fox News was just on. And I was like running on the treadmill, and I look up, and you see a whole clip of somebody being shot, and you see it, and I'm like, if I was a kid and I saw that, that would have tore me to pieces.
Yep.
And I just think there's something wrong with that. The fact that they feel like they need to show this clip just so people watch it and are entertained. You know, I just feel like it's gotten worse and worse. The stuff that they are willing to show with no warning of
I
like,
wonder why
hey,
that
like,
is.
if you have
Because
kids, don't look. Like there was nothing like that. It was just like, here's this clip that happened, and it was like someone getting shot.
do you think the line
was
crossed once 9/11 happened and you were able to see these buildings coming down and killing quite a few?
Yeah, I think that was kind of the beginning of it, and that was everything, right? So then people realized, oh, like in the midst of tragedy, people are going to look and click and see and be interested, and the ratings shoot through the roof. So now it's like, well, if horrible things happen and we have videotape, then let's show it, and then but yeah, I don't know. That's my take. That's why I don't watch the news. And like I said last time, I'll never do it. But yeah. So we'll just hope for the best, that people can discern the truth and seek goodness. And
I think naturally every single person, for the most part, is a good person at their core.
right.
We as a society, I'm speaking like Jared Leto from Zach's. We live in a society.
Yeah, here we go.
But naturally, we do live in a society where people together are motivated by groupthink.
So my initial thought is like, we are made to be good, but we have a fallen nature, right? So that's what we believe as Christians is like, we're made to be good, but because of our brokenness, because of sin, like we're all kind of geared towards things that are fallen. But it's always just holding on to that reality that we are not autonomous, right? We have, at least I think that's the word. Like we are in control of we have rational thought, and we have actions, and we think and we process so we can make good decisions based on that. But we just have to be informed and educated enough on the good, which is what life is. So
what we want you all to do is subscribe to Feeling Grounded Podcast, like the video, become a patron, and also subscribe to us on Feeling Grounded Podcast on Instagram to see exclusive content for free. Ask us any question on any one of those mediums, such as,
why is there a Beatles poster behind Joe?
Yeah, why is there a Beatles poster behind me? Maybe somebody. Actually, no. I'll let you guys do that. I don't want to spoil the fun. But you got questions?
You're feeling grounded.